A new Medicaid rule in Wisconsin gives people a reasonable opportunity period to prove their immigration status. Now, to be eligible for Badger Care Plus or Medicaid or family planning only services in the state of Wisconsin, you must meet both financial and non-financial eligibility criteria. And some of those non-financial eligibility criteria center on immigration status. There are qualifying statuses as listed in both the Badger Care Plus and Medicaid eligibility handbooks. To verify your immigration status can be a difficult process. This new rule reflects that. It creates a period of time called a reasonable opportunity period in which people who apply for Medicaid or Badger Care Plus who are otherwise eligible for the benefits and services of Badger Care or Medicaid but don't yet have that proof of immigration status, this new rule lets them start getting their benefits while they have time to prove their immigration status. They can start getting those health benefits right away. Now, typically the verification of immigration status can happen automatically by the Department of Homeland Security. But for some people where it's not automatic, there can be applicant-provided proof. And this can be done by letter, by affidavit, or by form. And we'll talk about that in just a second. But the term that is important to remember is the reasonable opportunity period. Time is allocated to collect the proof of status, and it's typically can be up to 95 days. It's a long period of time. This rule was made effective March 2nd of 2019, so it's been in effect for a little while. Now, people are not eligible for backdated benefits in this time in which verification of immigration status has not yet been provided. But once that proof does come in, then someone can be assessed for backdated eligibility. A little bit more on this rule. Benefits will be active if people declare they are lawfully present and provide immigration status information when applying or fill out a statement about status form. And in the description below, we provide you a link to that form. Now, just a quick note that this does not apply to Badger Care Plus prenatal program or emergency Medicaid. In those two instances, immigration status is not required. Those are both programs for non-qualified immigrants, so you do not have to worry about this rule for those populations. Couple other reminders. We've worked with a couple folks already coming through our office in which the reasonable opportunity period has been invoked, and here are some tips that we've learned. First of all, it's quite often that people will have their verification of immigration status automatically verified by the Department of Homeland Security. That's kind of the normal process. But for someone who is transitioning status, the records on file with Homeland Security might be different than reality. The transition might not have happened yet, and the paperwork might not have caught up. In that case, that's where this reasonable opportunity period and having the applicant declare the proof of their status will be important. Filling out that form that we link to below is one way to do it, and also providing any other documents you may have on hand will be useful. Now, there is no recoupment of cost if the individual is ultimately found not eligible due to status. If you were receiving Badger Care for those 90+ days, and then it was determined that you were not of qualifying status, the state will not come back and charge you for the value of that Badger Care you had. So there's no recoupment process, and that's a really nice enhancement to this rule. Now, there's also a little caveat that you only get this reasonable opportunity period once. So it's important to take full advantage and know the important verification items you may or may not have. If you are going through a transition, you try to prove your status and it doesn't come through, but you had the value of Badger Care for that time, then you wait and then you try again. You go through another period of time trying to verify your immigration status. You will not be granted that continuation of benefits during that second attempt. The language can be a little complicated, so we encourage you to read the rules as they're written and read the bulletin. And once again, in that link description below, we do share that form that can be used if your status is not automatically verified by Homeland Security. If you have questions about some of the Badger Care, Medicaid, or other rules that surround those programs, you can send us an email, and you can find us at healthwatchwisconsin.org.